Hey guys, Caesar from Lightwerkz here. Our website is lightwerkz.net, and today we're going to be getting into how much does a retrofit cost. It's a very broad topic. It's discussed almost every single day on the forums, through email inquiries, through Facebook groups like Headlight Junkies, which I'm essentially making this video for you guys. Well, I thought about making it for you guys simply because it's asked so often. And this is going to be a long, pretty thorough answer that I've come up with. And it's just me speaking my mind and my thoughts about what's going on and how to relay this information to you. So, if you're looking for a short answer, I suggest you Google it or contact a few service providers. Email us info@lightwerkz.net. We'll give you an estimate. But the truth is, it comes down to your parts and it comes down to your labor. The parts packages these days, you can get projectors, Morimoto H1s, shrouds of your choice, Morimoto HID system. It's the whole package through Morimoto. You got the best quality, you got the best warranty, you got the best overall system that's designed to work together. And those parts packages start at about $295 on our website. On the flip side, which we've added recently, and it's available, through other retailers or eBay or straight from China. You can get a generic H1 system, generic shrouds, cheap ballasts, all for about $100. So there's not much more excuses that you can give anybody that it's too expensive to afford a projector retrofit, or it's too difficult. The H1 with its threaded shaft makes it easy to install. So honestly, anybody could have a conversion done. With a little bit of effort, a little bit of time, some basic tools, you could have a projector conversion done. So, when it comes to parts, anywhere from $100 to $300. So when somebody asks how much does a retrofit cost, that's really your first, basic response to how much an actual conversion costs. Because it's all parts, and the rest is labor. It's going to cost you your time. It's going to cost you a day or a weekend, and you can get it done. On the flip side, there's labor. And once again, with the revolution of the headlight retrofitting with the H1 system or the D2S, 2.0 and now 3.0, and I'm sure there's going to be many versions of these projectors. They're only getting better. What's happening is there are a ton of service providers. So you got, John across the street that's doing retrofits, and you got Tom in California, Gary in Texas who runs a legitimate retrofitting business. You got so many, such a wide group of people that are doing retrofitting. It's the enthusiast, it's the backyard mechanic, it's a guy who also, offers tinting and car wraps that does retrofits now. And it's also full-on, full-time service provider shops like ourselves, Lightwerkz, that offer the retrofitting. And that's all we do. We specialize in retrofitting. We do the halos and the painting and all that stuff, the installations, the repairs, LED accessories, but our specialty is retrofitting. So I'm going to get into the most basic type of installer, the guy that's doing it on the side to, collect some extra money. He's going to be doing it for the cheapest. There's no question about it. You can find these guys on the forums. Once again, every forum these days has their guy who does the headlights, and generally inexpensive. And forums also have the paid sponsors who are going to be charging a little bit more. This guy, whatever his name is, let's call him Tom. Tom does this on the side. He does this when he gets home from work. So Tom is going to be a little bit slower to respond to inquiries, most likely. His turnaround times are going to be a little bit slower. And who knows about the quality. He's maybe done a handful of retrofits, one for his brother, one for his father, maybe two for the guys down the street, and a few on the forums, let's say. Let's say he's got a 10 under his belt. The thing is about Tom, he's just doing it on the side. He may not be here in a year or two when you need help. He might move on to something else, and he might just say, I don't have time for retrofitting anymore. So anytime you get somebody that's doing it for you on the side, you're getting a cheap labor quote, let's say $100, $200, and that's great. Great extra side money when you break it down per hour. for these guys, just realize it is partially a risk still, because you're getting it done cheap, and it doesn't mean it's going to be bad, but it also means the support may not be there. You might not be able to purchase all the parts through them. You may not hear back from them very quickly if you need help during the installation, or an issue arises a few months down the road. Who knows where this person Tom will be that's doing these conversions for the guys on the forums or the guys down the street. These are just theoretical examples, and it's all gravy, but you have to understand that there are some risks to it. On the flip side, you have other people that kind of went into the industry. They own a shop, they have the space to do it, they are a legitimate business, and now they've started to offer retrofitting. And it seems easy because everybody's doing the threaded shaft method these days. Splitting open headlights is pretty straightforward, but they still don't have the experience really to do a really professional job. But they might be charging professional pricing simply because they have the overhead, they have the expenses, and that will essentially lead to a slightly higher labor rate. So that's excuse me, that's sort of right in the middle. You got the guy that's professional in some other ways. Maybe he's a mechanic, BMW, Volkswagen. He specializes in European cars. However, he's now taking on some other tasks, maybe doing the retrofitting as a way to bring in other customers. And there's nothing wrong with that. But once again, not truly a headlight specialist. And he's going to be mid-range priced. And then you have the guys like ourselves, Lightwerkz. I can name, on both hands, the top service providers in the country. And they are strictly focused on headlight conversions, halo installations, DM&I installations. They are specialists of headlights, and that's really all they do. They don't do anything else. They don't have time to do anything else. They're extremely busy, and they've built a reputation about standing above the rest of the guys that do it, whether it's on the side or professionally. All they do is the headlights. And, that's kind of where we fall in, and you really get the top grade final result when you go with this route. The downside is that, of course, it is a very competitive field. You have Tom down the street doing it for $200, and you're going to get a quote from us, and it's going to cost you $600, $700, $100. So there's a huge spread, and you have to realize that with a legitimate business, there's a lot of overhead. There's employees to pay. There are insurances to pay. There are utilities, and there are rents. And another thing I'd like to point out is these shops are spread all around the country. Some in bigger cities where rents and property taxes are extremely expensive, and other guys are just doing it from their home. They might be specialists, but they're still working from home, little to no overhead. Maybe they have a storage facility where they keep some parts, but they're still working out of their garage. So, prices are really going to fluctuate. And, people that are in this higher price point, the consumers, I recommend you don't just price shop. Talk to the installers. Get a feel for their experience level with your make and model. Ask them the questions. Make sure they spend the time with you on the phone, or through email, of course, but whatever you prefer. Anybody who's interested in taking your money is going to be there before and after the sale. And that's extremely important because you want to trust that person. You want to know that you're getting the quality that you're paying for. Just because you're paying more for it doesn't always necessarily mean you're getting a better final product. So it really comes down to good research, and it's going to come down to speaking with these installers and making sure that you pick a quality professional installer. And the difference is tremendous. The turnaround times are quicker. We quote 3 to 5 business days. That's a week, business week, for example. Other places may quote 1 to 2 weeks, depending on their workload. Some places, and I know a few of them right off the bat, they have pre-made, ready-to-go retrofits. So you go on their website, you make an order, and you're ready to rock and roll. You're going to get your package in 5 business days, going to cross the country, from California to wherever you are, let's say Florida, and you're installing them the final week. Other places, like us, you require a deposit. We tailor it to your scenario, your ideas, and we build it exactly how you like it. So nothing is off the shelf. Nothing is built ready to go. It's all custom tailored to what you're looking for in the conversion. And we can tweak it, we can add on paint, we can add on accessories. There are so many different things that you can do. And that kind of, goes into the next thing. What kind of quality are you going to expect? Well, there shouldn't be any fingerprints. There shouldn't be much of dust. You know, maybe a speck or two there is acceptable. One thing I left out originally in the video, this is going to be a little add-on to the clip, is fit and finish. And I say this to everybody, everybody's work look good in pictures. The small percentage that doesn't look good, I mean, that's just awful, awful work, because even the worst retrofitters can make their, you know, images and their picture quality and the final fit and finish look pretty decent. I mean, it's actually hard to capture imperfections in photos unless it's just awful. So, you know, even the mid-range guys or the upper-end guys who you think is amazing, they have a great photographer, looks great on the car, but up close, when you stick your nose in it, I mean, you're seeing hairs, you're seeing debris, you're seeing, you know, drip marks or condensation marks, or the paint work is off. You know, and that's what I want you guys to understand, is we really focus on a OEM factory fit and finish. You know, sure, you're not gonna, you know, you're not gonna get every flaw out, or, you know, you're not gonna get every speck of dust out. But overall, I mean, we're looking at 98, 99%, you know, perfect. That's what we aim for. We aim for perfection. And, you know, as humans, we know nothing is truly perfect, especially, you know, handmade stuff, but it can be very close to perfect. Aesthetically and functionally. I mean, the most important part is functional. We want the lights to be able to adjust properly, you know, up and down, left and right. They need to be aimed properly. We go through a lot of testing with our retrofits to ensure that the rotation is spot on when you get it back on your car, and all this without the car on site, majority of the time at least. So take a look at our videos. We have other videos showing how we go about, you know, getting the reference points and how we mount the projectors properly, because we're taking such advanced methods to ensure proper fit and finish and function like an OEM headlight, that most people don't realize. They see the final picture, they see it on the car, they say, wow, you know, that guy just quoted me, you know, a third of the price. But, you know, we actually spend much longer. We charge a price that's appropriate in a professional setting, and when you get it on your car, it's going to fit and function like it would from the factories if you got it from Honda or from Acura or from Toyota. It's going to give you that OEM fit and finish and the quality that anybody's after. So, you know, and if you don't know any better, and there are plenty of people that get retrofits, and we install them for other people, and they got it from some other company, or they did it themselves, and, you know, I know a guy cheaper, you know, did a retrofit for them. I see everything. I see everything that's wrong with it, and, you know, I'll tell the customer, and sometimes they just don't care. If you're one of the ones that does care, come to us. We're going to make it right for you. If you're super OCD, I have a feeling that we can definitely handle it, because we're just as OCD as you, and we see everything. And within reason, you know, like I said, you may find imperfections with anybody's work. Once again, it's all humanly possible. But you need to understand that, you know, we are chasing perfection, and it's a difficult thing. We'll reopen the light. Once it's ready to go back in the oven, we're going to check it for imperfections. We will take it apart 3 times if we have to get that extra dust out, or fix that paint imperfection. We'll repaint the piece. So we don't let things slide, to an extent, of course, and it'll be redone until I'm happy with it. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, that, you know, they put out the work and they hope the customer doesn't notice. Well, that's not true with us. We really go the extra mile to ensure that the light looks good in pictures and in person, and that it works like it should from the factory. Meaning, when you put it back on your car, the rotation's spot on, left and right. If it's not adjustable, it should be very close to the original point. You know, and is the light, you know, projector beam matching with the high beam? That's another thing that people miss. So people are missing a lot of those things. You know, as far as fit and finish, you know, and I'm going to go into another area, is how we mount our projectors. So no threaded shaft method. Our projectors and shrouds are generally recessed to minimize any kind of gaps. All weather sealed in the back, so you don't have to worry about debris or water getting inside the headlights. And it's just really the whole package that you're getting. So, you know, you look at one person's picture and they might look similar to ours, but there's so much more behind the scenes that a lot of people don't see. And that's what's concerning to me, is because you go elsewhere, and you know what? If you have any idea, if you've done enough research, you're going to realize that it's probably not what you really wanted. And you realize that, you know what, maybe you should have spent a few extra bucks, talked to somebody else, and, you know, I think you will guarantee your final results a little bit better if you go with somebody that's really experienced. So we're going to go on to the next section now. But relatively dust free, because even factory housings have specks of dust in them. It should be ready. Sorry, we had to take a little bit of a break there. So when it comes to the plug and play aspect, we really don't want our customer to have to run to the store, add anything, splice into anything. We really truly try to think in advance for the customer. And if you're getting something back from somebody, it's got all exposed wires in the back, you're not sure where things go, it's only going to take you more time. There's going to be more risk of screwing it up. And ultimately, that's not something a true professional will want you to do. So they quote you cheaper on the labor, but they leave a ton of extra time that's involved in needing to set the back end up of it. People don't realize it takes another, half hour, sometimes even an hour to properly seal with a weather cap, feed out the wiring, make it plug and play. So when you get it from us, it is plug and play, but somebody had to sit there, take the time to add on the wire taps or the special connections, waterproof connections, and make sure everything is going to be plug and play for you. And really the last thing that's it comes down to is really the warranties. The guy that's doing it down the street, he might state his warranties a year or 2 years, but what if he's not there in 2 years? I mean, you could say the same thing for anybody, but for example, we've been around since 2006, doing retrofitting since 2006, so we're talking full decade coming this September of 2016, and we're going to be there in 5 years, we're going to be there in 10 years, we hope to be there in 20 or 30 years, and that's the difference. When you go through a service provider that has a good name, unless you see some shady stuff going on, you're going to hope they're going to be there to serve you when you have a problem with their conversion. So keep that in mind. What somebody states and what somebody does are always two different things, and there's no sure way of going into it and knowing, hey, I have a warranty for at least a year or 2 years. Well, guess what? We're so confident in our work, we offer a lifetime craftsmanship warranty. And we fix things that are 4 or 5, 6 years old at this point, just to keep our customers happy. Happy customers keep returning back, they refer other people, and they're going to talk and praise about the service provider because they can trust what you're offering them. And, Tom down the street, we don't know. We don't know what he's going to be doing. We don't know if he's even going to honor his warranty. He might find a way to snake out of it. So, and it really goes into the next thing. Parts warranty. When you get the generic, cheaper parts, they might not carry any warranty, maybe 6 months. Maybe you got it all from China because you wanted to save money. So even though most of it comes from there, if you have it directly shipped over, let's say you buy on eBay, the issue is that if you have an issue with one of the parts, you might be waiting weeks to get a replacement bulb, to get a replacement ballast. And that's a scary thing. If you buy from an authorized Morimoto dealer like us, hassle-free warranty. You tell us you have a problem, we'll send you a replacement. You don't even need to send the original one back. We just ask you for a picture with the proper, criteria, proper arrangement. The wires need to be cut, for example, and you're going to get your part in, 2-3 business days. We ship all with priority mail, 2-3 days all around the country. So that sounds pretty nice. If you have to send the light back for any reason, for a service, shipping's on you, but we cover the return shipping and we fix for absolutely free. Unless we can, pinpoint an issue. You may have caused it, you may have left the weather cap off, or, you were in an accident, and that happens, and, that might not be under warranty, but we'll still help you out and do the right thing by you. That's just something I want you guys to think about, because everybody's price shopping. Price. Who's got the lowest price? You quote somebody and they say, well, I got a friend who can do it cheaper. I mean, that's the famous last words, because everybody is shopping for price these days. The guys that aren't shopping for price are doing their research. They are contacting the right service providers, and they're taking their time. They're not rushing into the process. We have customers that go back and forth with us for months before they decide to finally commit to the process, because we understand it's expensive. You got to find the right timing to put your car on for a week or two, send out the assemblies if you want to minimize costs, and that's why I really encourage people. If you want to search for the cheapest price, do it yourself. I'll help you. I'll hold your hand. And if you purchase the parts from us, I will assure you that we'll provide diagrams and videos and everything you need to do the process yourself. If you're looking for a cheaper service provider than us that's still professional, I also have my little network of service providers that can get it done for a little bit less than we can, that I can still recommend you to. So never feel that you have to ultimately shop for the lowest price, because the lowest price doesn't always get you the results that you're going to want. And at the end of the day, my theory is you do it once and you do it right. You don't want to do this again and again, because too many people make the mistake of getting it done cheap, they get ripped off, nothing works, the lights are condensating. Guess what? The guy vanished. He wants nothing to do with you because he knows he did a bad job and he's not willing to repair it. And that's why most of these guys that do it cheap, they don't stick around for a long time, because in custom lighting and custom work in general, it all catches up with you, and ultimately there's things to fix. Things go wrong when you don't have the experience that you need. Even things go wrong for us, and we own up to our mistakes, we fix them, and we do it better the next time. So next time you're considering, how much does a retrofit cost, think about what I said in this video. Reach out to me. It's info@lightwerkz.net. I'll personally respond, and I'll be happy to help you if you need any kind of parts from our website, and we'll be there for you before and after the sale. So I appreciate your time today. Thanks for watching this video, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Comment here, YouTube, Facebook, whatever, however you found us. And keep everything I said in mind, because it's all important information, and this is all my opinion. You might disagree with me, and some might agree, and I hope that most of you do. So have a nice day, and thanks for watching.